Okay, are we on? Well, good morning everybody. Just let me move around, and I hope our fingers are crossed, everything is crossed, that this is going to work. So, good morning everybody. Woo! So I've basically done the same thing with my iPhone. I've got it clamped on the tripod, done the whole string thing, so hopefully you're getting this. After my first live stream shenanigans 20 minutes ago, Charlie's staying here this week because he's finished school now. So finished school, he's left school, he's just waiting to start college. So he came in and he told me how to flip the camera view around, and also I found the adapter that holds the iPhone, the springed bracket. So that's all cool. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm just going to get started on this ash bowl for Hoghton Tower. So it's great to have you hanging out no matter where you are in the world. It's really cool, and if you're working or you're in bed, you'll be able to watch this later from my channel. So it's all completely amazing. It's easier than I thought to get started on this YouTube live streaming, and the voiceover options for the blind are working fine with this application. So that's really, really cool. I'm so excited how many options this has just given me like that. It's just, whoa, I can do content and just live stream it. And after what we were just talking about the other day about, you know, me apologising, and this is quite a eureka moment for me, so I'm really excited about it. So I don't know how long that you can live stream for, if it's just 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever. But the only thing that I won't be able to do is obviously interact live with questions and comments. So like I said before, I will have to catch up with those later on today. So piece of ash. I'm just going to get my talking tape measure, and I'll give this
0 inches.
So this feels so much more relaxed as well, because I'm not having to think about stopping and pausing and editing scenes. And
4 3/4 inches.
4 3/4 by 4 1/16. So 4 3/4 by 4. So this will turn off in a few seconds and you'll hear that. So basically
Turning off in 5 seconds.
I've just knocked the corners off, cut the corners off on the bandsaw. So this is going to be a little ash bowl for Hoghton Tower, because they've been in touch and they've said we need more stock, bowls and magic wands. So I've made a few magic wands. And I've done one bowl, a small oak bowl, so this is going to be a small ash bowl. So that's clear of the tool rest. So I'm going to bring up the tailstock for some added support. So I don't know what speed, RPM as a numerical value this will be. I just get things spinning. Bit of chatter there, but it's not quite perfectly balanced, and I've got it held on a screw chuck. So I've got a gouge here, so I'm just going to use this gouge at first. So hopefully we're good to go here. So I'm just going to use this gouge. Now that there was me just getting a bit complacent. So I had my tool rest just hanging on there while I was speaking, and it just caught it. So entirely my fault. So anyway, it's real, it's raw, it's in the flesh. Right, so just get my position there. So let's get started again. Put that down a bit. Have another feel. Get my position. That's up. Okay. So I don't know if you can see, I'm sorry about keep disappearing. Yes, I'm sorry about keep disappearing, but I gave the old face shield a bit of a paint job. I've just sprayed it black and then just dry brushed some copper gilt. So let's just check this for height. That needs to come down a bit. That should be okay. Check the clearance. It smells really nice, this piece of ash. A swig of tea. In fact, I better move that, otherwise it'll end up with shavings in it. So carry on. Still got some edges to it. A massive thanks to everybody, subscribers and viewers and people that commented your words of encouragement and support after my apology video the other day. So I don't obviously do things I obviously have to do things differently from other people, and it just gets so frustrating for me. And of course there's no even slight inkling that I'd ever quit doing YouTube. It's just that you know, if you've got a YouTube, you do it, and I know that you're all there and you'll keep watching and waiting, but I mean, YouTube has been such a massive part of my life and part of my ongoing rehabilitation, and you know, trying to act independently, and the amazing friends that I've got now around the world because of it. It's just, YouTube is important to me. I know it's not the end of the world, and definitely not a matter of life and death, but it is important to me. And I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. And I'm proud with what I've accomplished. And yeah, I've just got to keep going, but I get frustrated. And it's funny, just changing subjects, going back to the subject of dislikes. I seem to get a couple of dislikes as soon as I've uploaded a video, and it's probably by the same person, and you know, things like that. It doesn't worry me and it doesn't upset me. I'm just curious, why say or click dislike? I mean, it tells me, it tells everybody, it tells you nothing. I dislike that. And well, what's that telling me? That tells me nothing. Why don't you like it? You know, and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, famous quote by Eisenhower, former President Eisenhower, when he was talking about the SAS regiments: critics don't count, and that's true. So people that dislike videos, in my opinion, especially those that don't YouTube and create themselves, they haven't got an idea of what's involved. So critics don't count. So it doesn't worry me. I'm just very curious as to why click it. Explain why you don't like it. It doesn't upset me. And I heard someone say recently, a dislike means that you've reached their soul, you've touched their soul. Which I thought was a cool way of putting it. So, yeah, dislikes, strange. In my opinion, if you dislike something, you should only be allowed to dislike if it's backed up by constructive criticism or a constructive comment. Just clicking don't like it, what's the point? I mean, it's just 30 seconds of your life that you've just wasted and you'll never get back. Anywho, let's just square this face up. Take my time here because it is got a bit of a weird angle to it at the moment, just on this corner here, so you can hear it just getting a grip on that corner. And you can hear I mean, that vibration tells me so much. I mean, excuse the pun, but it speaks volumes. So obviously that is nice and square. I'll be happy with that. So, very cool. Nice piece of ash. That sounds so wrong saying that, but I like a nice bit of ash. That sounds so wrong. But right, I've got my mortise jig here, so I just offer that in place. Nice good score line for me to feel. I feel that's the parting tool. Remove the tailstock. Feel where that score line is. create the outside diameter of the mortise, but also going at an angle to give me that dovetail. So while that's still there, I can move now to the square carbide. So it's just going to act as a wider parting tool really, just for hogging this out. Have a feel at that now. Bit of a ridge, so just got to go a bit deeper now. Let's just get a firing up faster here. Clean off this face. Have another feel. Nice, very nice. Right, so that's pretty cool. So I'll start just giving the bowl some shape. It's going to be quite a dumpy little pot. So gently kissing that corner around. And obviously you don't want to be overhanging and going too far over this tool rest, even though people go, well, you know, you probably won't get a catch. You will, you've still got to work your way around, otherwise you will get a catch if you've got a big overhang. So keep working yourself around. And use your body. Get a nice consistent flow around. Stop that and have a feel. There's hardly any tear out on this this ash, which is really nice. Just using some lighter pressure now. Yeah, so I'm liking that. So I hope, I mean, I've not heard this phone speak or anything, so I don't know if it could be dead. I don't know. I'm just coming around the back, see if I can. Yes. So you getting that? Are we still going? I don't know. Right, well I suppose I'll carry on. I can't. Right, so I'm going. Hello? Is it? Oh, right. Yeah, Charlie. All right, cool. How long can you do these? How long can you do these things for? Because you're live on air then now. But I'll just keep going. Oh. Alright, okay. Well, anyway, folks, the 2 viewers that I think I've got, that Nicola's just said, it's working. So, thank you for watching. And I'm going to get on to do a bit of sanding now. So, alright, Nicola, thanks a lot. Speak to you later, bye. Well, there you go. Nicola's actually listening to it in the car. Our car has the whole 4G and Bluetooth and touchscreen, and it's a really cool car. So it's going to get a bit noisy now, folks, because I am going to start the dust extractor. So got a piece of 120 here. so that's sanded up to 240 there. Sorry about the noise. But obviously I just sand to 240 now because of the whole Yorkshire grit thing that I've got going on, like a lot of other wood turners. So I'm going to do the obligatory blind wood turner spiral in the bottom now. So always make sure that the nut is facing away. I hope you're getting that. The nut, this knurled nut that holds the tooth in, always have it facing away. Because if you've got it facing inwards, you could get a catch or it'll ruin the work. So always make sure that the nut's facing out. And then I press and hold on for 5 seconds so I get a consistency of depth in each imprint. So let's just get to going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quick flick around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should have left the spiral. So very quickly, just a bit of Scotch-Brite, just a quick de-nibbing, and then blow off that. So the next step is now to seal the wood. Ba-ba-boom, ba-da-ba-boom. So, first things first. That's really great that I've got some people hanging out with me, so thank you very, very much. I will I've just knocked everything off my shelf, which is cool. So, some cellulose sanding sealer. I'll just squirt it in the middle there first and work it in with the brush. Yeah, it's really cool that I've got people hanging out, and I appreciate it so very much. It's really cool, wherever you are. So, I'll just now apply to the rest. But this YouTube live streaming is going to come in so handy as well for optic nerve videos, because I can just fire it up out and about now, and the people that watch and are interested in, you know, how the blind and visually impaired community go about things, well, that's going to open up a whole new realm for that too. So anyway, just give this a second to set up. So it's pretty awesome. Right, let's give this a turn off a bit. Getting that there. And the same again. So that's 2 coats of sanding sealer well worked in there now. Just get rid of the sanding sealer pot. And when that flashes off in a moment, I'll be able to apply some friction polish. No, wrong. When this has flashed off, Yorkshire grit. Oh yes. Bit tricky. Nearly forgot. Just a light rub, you don't want to lose any of that detail in the spiral. Give it a blast while she's spinning. Right then, Yorkshire grit time. So you must have all have heard of Yorkshire grit by now. That's it there. I'll rotate it so maybe you'll be able to see the label in its correct orientation. But it's an abrasive paste developed here in the UK by Glyn and his team. Can't forget his team. So I'm feeling for my kitchen paper, which I can't feel, so I'll probably knock that down or knock that off somewhere too. Right, I've got it all around the back. So yeah, it's an abrasive paste, and it's absolutely a massive time saver for me, and cuts down on dust, time. You get an amazing professional finish. I just hand rub it in, but don't go too gung-ho near any detail and texturing. You don't want to get it clogged up with the Yorkshire grit, so I just really use a bit of residual grit just to buff around it. Keep working it in, and as it's getting hotter, it's self-adjusting and self-degrading, so it's getting finer and finer, and thus sanding the work ever smoother. So once you're sure you've got it all worked in, move to a clean place. You continue to rub it in with a bit of clean tissue. So everything I do is obviously done by touch and by listening. You guys would be able to see as well the level of finish that it's giving you, but that's pretty cool. That's feeling like it's there now. So yeah, nice and smooth. So put that away. There's something else I'll knock on the floor. Put some friction polish on and give this a good shake, so it's all the ingredients are combined thoroughly. The weather's been shocking as well. It's not like it seems to have rained really hard non-stop for a couple of days. No fun. So just apply the friction polish now, get it well worked in. Oh, and I'd like to say the first lathe that had the record power one, now this isn't an advertisement for record power. I'm not sponsored or paid by Record Power, but you know, give credit where credit is due. The hoop that holds the cam lever and then has the bolt on the end to grab onto the bars, that hoop had snapped. So it was still under warranty. So I contacted Record Power and spoke to a gentleman there called Alan, and he was very helpful, and he sent me the part out very quickly, and I fitted the part yesterday. It's only a couple of circlips really, and then you bolt the clamp back on. 15-20 minute job even for me. So Record Power, a company is only as good really as its customer service, and Record Power delivered exactly what they said they did, and they expedited the part quickly. So Record Power, it's not an endorsement for them. Well, it is, you know, from a well done Record Power. Not a financial endorsement. Carner, crystalline stick, hammer machine. So yeah, it's credit where credit's due. Record Power, well done. Customer care was really, really good. So thank you, Alan at Record Power. So my DML 36 SH cam lathe is no longer broken, so that's really cool. So I'm one of these that if I've got something and it's broken, it just keeps niggling. I did put a couple of Jubilee clamps around the hoop to try and afford some tension, but it didn't work. The tailstock just kept creeping back. So this will be nearly done in a moment. So obviously what we need to do, I hope you've seen that and it's looking good. What I need to do now is just like that carnauba set up for a minute or two. So this would be a good opportunity to answer questions if I could read. Well, not read in the traditional sense anyway. Well, what can you do? But just while that sets up, and then, because obviously while it's still soft, just grabbing that, you can put some smears and thumbprints in it. So literally just a minute to firm up, and then we'll swap it around and get it in the jaws on the chuck. So that's really cool. So yeah, well, I'm really impressed with the fact that the YouTube Live's working. Suppose the only thing that I need to consider is battery life on the phone. So I'm sure it would give me an audible alert, in which case I would get the charger plugged in. So rightio, I'm just going to lock the spindle off now. I'm just, geez. Well, that was tight, which is good in one way because it's safe. It wasn't for flying off that then, but it doesn't help when you've just applied a load of polish and it's slick, so it's hard to get some purchase on it. So right, there you go. So I'll just leave that on a bit of tissue there now. Find my chuck kit. Just feel for the hole. that out. And then what I always do is always give the jaws a clean, especially the area that's going to come in contact with the mortise, the wood on the mortise. So I always give these a clean, just make sure that there's sort of like the dirt, shavings, splinters, any other contaminants free really. Just spend that time turning the outside. You don't want it to become damaged by some inherent problems on the jaws that are stuck there. So there you go, that's nice. Them jaws were almost practically closed before the mortise sat on, so they've only opened a tiny little bit and it's gripped, so that's good as well, because that proves that you've got maximum surface area holding the mortise. So never over tighten too aggressively, just pinching it up gradually so you don't crack or split the wood. Things I'm always listening for, any movement in the wood. So that's very cool. And just check my space in there now. So actually I'll be showing you something today that Brendan, Bacon Soda, BMAC Woodturning, over in Ireland, something that he's made for me. So I'll explain that in a second. Just let me get this. Just mark the outer edge. Make sure the spindle locks off. Try again. Put it up. In fact, let's face her off. Make things less wobbly. So just feel again for where I'm going to put the edge. Will that come up to speed? That will do. Right then, that feels pretty good on centre there, so off we go. Stop there and have a feel. Turning beautiful, this. case to pick out in the middle. That's how I feel with that. Right, let's go and get this new gadget I've got. A gadget courtesy of Brendan over in Ireland. So, leave that banjo out of the way. So basically what it is, he's made me a depth gauge. I hope you're seeing that okay, folks. He's made me a depth gauge because the one thing that I was not struggling with, but I was overcautious with, was the depth of my bowls and pots and things like that. So I didn't want to be punching through, because for me that's just a whole load of mither. It is for anybody. So anyway, this Brendan said this wasn't his design, but he remembered seeing it some time ago and he's made it. He took some, well, I took some measurements off the lathe, some heights and the gap between the bedways and the distance from the headstock to the jaw face. So he came up with this, and I've set it, and this rod's set now. So I slide it in, and then I don't know if you can see, but on the bedways, I slide it in. So if you can imagine, this part is on the bed. I'll slide it in, and then when the rod touches the bottom of the portion I've hollowed out, the gap here corresponds to how much timber I've got left. So obviously if I was feeling brave, I'd be going, oh, a very thin gap, but it's just down to me to leave enough where I'm comfortable. So I can, and he's put this wooden edge on here, so it amplifies the gap for me. So it gives me a greater reference. Yeah, I could just feel that gap, but the fact that he's put this extra piece on the top, again, enhances that sensory experience for me. So if I do that, as I can feel there, I've got about an inch to go. So I keep turning, keep offering this gauge up until it's at a place where I halt the surroundings, because you have to factor in as well the fact that you could be having to do some sanding too, which is going to remove some more bulk. So let's just have a feel here now. Let's carry on. Have a stop there now. A little bit of a pip.
Alert. Low battery.
Right, I've just had an alert for the low battery, so I'm going to go and get some power. I'll be back in a second. Have a brew. I'm back. Luckily the charging lead is accessible for me. It's just always in the same place in the kitchen, so let's just get this all hooked up. Well, obviously it's a massive learning exercise for me today as well, because I was hoping that it'd say something to let me know that the excuse my hands. So let's just plug this in a second. Let's just make things a bit tidier. So, yes, I should remember to keep talking while I'm doing things like this. So hopefully
Close button. YouTube.
well, hopefully that's all plugged in. So hopefully we're charging. So turning SMOT back on. I'm back. Sorry about that, folks, but it's a lesson learned. When I'm doing live streaming, just plug it in right from the get-go. So, just check the depth again. It's down to about 3/4 of an inch now. 5/8 at the most. Oh, yeah, something like that. So, carry on. I can hear something outside. So, I don't know if it's coming here. Is that you, Nicola?
Yeah.
Okay. Just Nicola coming back from a meeting. Right, carry on. So I'm just trying to reduce the thickness of the wall near the bottom now.
got 5 viewers.
5 viewers. Hello, viewers. I'll just be checking with the depth gauge again in a minute.
Six viewers.
6 viewers.
4 viewers.
4 viewers. So, check with the depth gauge. Yeah, it's probably down to about 10 mil now. So, it's cool, this YouTube live thing.
Yeah, it's good. I'm just having a look. Oh, are you on accessible?
Yeah, you can't mess with any functions. You have to. That's what me and Charlie found out before. Well, once, because it's in voiceover mode and accessible mode.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you flip the camera before you go live, otherwise it won't let you do it.
Right. Okay.
But Charlie helped me find it. It's the top right button that I press to flip the camera.
Yeah.
But Charlie helped me set it all up and everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you got any comments.
Well, I might have comments, but I've not heard any comments. So,
Well, if anybody wants to leave a comment whilst I can read it, I can. Hopefully, it should pop up and I can see it.
yeah, because I did say to people that there was no point commenting, especially when I'm when I'm here on my own. I can't read them, obviously. But yeah, Nicola's here for a couple of minutes, so if anyone's got a quick comment they want to fire in, please feel free to do so. But I'm just going to check the depth now. One last time. I mean, I could go thinner on the wall a bit more. This gauge is brilliant. You just makes me feel so much happier about hollowing out.
It looks like you've got some nice grain on there as well. Nice little piece.
So yeah, this is a piece of ash. What's the video quality like?
It's good. Looks good.
I'm pretty much happy with that depth / shape. So what I'm going to do now is get a finishing tool, which is this. It's a scraper, but it's on round bar stock, and this was a design made by Tracy Owen, who's a very, very experienced master turner. And I find this a lot more stable than a conventional scraper. And for those that didn't know, I have mentioned it before, but Tracy Owen is also the wood turner that invented the spiraling and texturing tool. and I felt his prototype for that he made many years ago. Amazing. So this is just taking just very light wispy cuts. So
I'm going to leave you to it.
you want to leave me to it? Okay. Well, thanks. Leaving me to it. Right, catch you later.
Okay.
Right, so I'm happy with that, so I am going to get on with the sanding, which is massively boring. So my apologies for that. And of course the extractor's going to be going again. So I apologise for that as well. Very noisy. Well, it's not very noisy, but noisy enough. Gonna reverse it another way. Right folks, so that's been sanded to 240. So sealing time again. Piece of card to protect the bedways. Get this rubbed in. Yeah, just give that a second. I can feel a little score line on the outside. How have I done that? But something's obviously caught it. So I'll just have to give that a going over in a minute. It's not a very, it's quite fine, but how have I done that? How have I done that? Yes. Strange. Is that bringing it out? That I think it is. I feel just this slight, tiny little scratch. Could have been done from a shape. I don't know. I've done that. Thought it was something because it wasn't there before. That's probably got it, so I'll have to just reapply. Finish to that outside now. It just never ends. To quote Harvey. Right, so that's done with that. So I hope I've still got some people with me, and welcome for hanging out and staying around. Really cool. I always periodically give this Scotch-Brite just a bit of a blast off as well. Helps it unclog a bit. So right, time for the grit. Quick rub in, get it going, quite fast. Keep working it in. Always keep it moving. So you get an even coverage, and it stops too much heat getting built up in the wood, the tissue, your fingertips. I'll just move to a clean piece of tissue now. turn her up a little bit. Still super impressed with this lathe. So that should do. Friction polish now. I can hear Charlie laughing upstairs on his Xbox with his friends. Yeah, Charlie's there's a place called Media City in an area of Manchester called Salford Quays, and Charlie's been offered a place there. That's where the BBC have got studios and stuff there, and ITV, their television stations, very big and famous. So they also have a college there that trains potential journalists, producers, directors, sound engineers, and this is where Charlie comes in, because he went for a look round and then he attended an audition there, because Charlie's a musician. He attended an audition, he had to sit a test and / entrance exam, and he had an interview and they offered him a place there. So he's doing sound and music technology, so even though he can play instruments and read music and all that sort of stuff, his passion really lies with the technical and techie side of it. So, turn this up. So yeah, that's where he'll be attending college, at Media City. So, really proud of him. Full-time 2-year course. And they get to mess with all this state-of-the-art recording and mixing equipment, and every day is going to be like just, amazing for him. So that's awesome. So hopefully that's it. So just let it cool down a second. Get a piece of kitchen towel. So this first live episode of the Blind Woodturner is sadly coming to an end. But it's been cool that you've been able to see me do a bowl, albeit not a big bowl, but you see me do a bowl in real time. And yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's been really, really cool. So just let me just slacken that off now. So basically what I'm going to go and do now is I'm going to go and get the camera off the tripod, well the phone it's a phone, and I'll bring you around to let you have a look at this ash bowl. So I'm just feeling my way around now to come and make sure I unclamp it carefully. Let's just unplug that. Ooh. Ooh. Right, so there we have it, everybody. So the viewers that I've got at the moment, I hope you're seeing it and liking it. So it started off as roughly a 4x4 piece of ash, and it's turned really, really nice. Nicola said it's got some nice grain in it, so I hope you're seeing that okay inside. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. So it feels really, really cool. So that's it, everybody. I'm done. Thank you so much for hanging out, and for those for the people that are gonna listen to this later on my channel, thank you so very much. Thank you to everybody for your support and words of encouragement. And now that I've learned how to do YouTube live, I can, oh gosh, the possibilities are endless. My mind is going nuts with ideas. So thank you. That's destined for Hoghton Tower, the gift shop at Hoghton Tower. So yeah, I hope they like it. A piece of ash, and it's made into a bowl. So thank you very much. Let me just I'm just trying to turn it off, everybody. Bye.